Hello, and welcome to the Israeli government. While you may hear lots about Israel and the war against Hamas, what you might know less is the governing coalition is, I'm resigning. Okay, let's walk out. He is leaking state secrets. There was no coalition, there was no discipline. A bit unstable. Israel was in a political crisis well before this military conflict began. The current coalition government was elected in 2022, after the 5th parliamentary election in 4 years, and is the most right-wing government in the country's history. Let's meet the parties and their leaders. Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud. The largest party of the right-wing bloc has gone through 7 terms of leading the country since 2009, and has never ruled for a full one of them. Currently being tried for corruption charges, Netanyahu has been the man who will not disappear, even as he has had to call early election after early election. Even when he managed to be removed from office, it took a coalition of parties who had nothing in common except not liking him, and it did not last very long. Now, back in the prime ministership, he leads the country's most right-wing coalition in history. Aryeh Deri's Shas. A party representing the interest of the strict Jewish branch Haredi has for many years been the deciding party of the government, going with whichever side will agree to continue subsidizing those who study the Torah over working and barring ultra-Orthodox Jews from having to enlist in the military service. Unfortunately for him, that policy was rejected by the High Court. Deri has a long history of service and convictions. He served 2 years in prison for accepting $155,000 in bribes, and then rejoined the government, where he later agreed to a plea bargain, convicting him of tax fraud, where he gave the impression that he was to retire from politics, saying he wants to continue to serve the public he represents in a different manner, even if it is not in the Knesset, the Israeli parliament. He then announced the next day that he was running for the Knesset. He rejoined the government and became a minister, until the High Court forced him out of that minister job. Bezalel Smotrich's Religious Zionism. A far-right party that believes that Israel must retain an absolute Jewish majority, Smotrich is a noted member of the Israeli far-right, and known for his racist and homophobic rhetoric, and for his quick ascent through politics, currently being the Minister of Finance. He supports an Israel with Torah-based law, instead of the current secular ones, supported separating women giving birth based on ethnicity, protested a pride parade for supposed uncleanliness, and was a major proponent in the proposed judicial reforms that garnered mass protests throughout the country. As finance minister, Smotrich has been involved in the near financial collapse of the Palestinian Authority, withholding tax revenue that made up approximately 70% of its budget. Yitzhak Goldknof's United Torah Judaism is another Haredi but non-Zionist political party. Recently, many ultra-Orthodox Jews threw stones at the leader and his car, and then smashed the windshield of a former UTJ leader. Itamar Ben-Gvir's Otzma Yehudis, a far-right party described as ultra-nationalist and Kahanist. Kahanism is an extremist ideology that advocates for the deportation of all Arabs from the biblical lands of Israel. The Otzma Yehudit, which translates to the Jewish Power Party, has been a major source of the current instability. The party refused to support a Shah's law, leaving the government without a majority, as he wanted a seat on the war cabinet, which no longer exists. A minister from the party was expelled after saying that dropping a nuclear bomb on Gaza was an option. Its leader, Ben-Gvir, is currently the preferred successor of Netanyahu by the right-wing coalition, and there is a lot to learn about him. He has criminal convictions of racism and supporting a terrorism organization. Prior to entering office, he had a portrait of a mass murderer hanging in his living room. He said that spitting on Christians is an ancient Jewish custom. He said that my right and my wife's and my children's right to get around on the roads in the West Bank is more important than the right to movement for Arabs. And has also said that all terrorists, which he said includes those who wave a Palestinian flag, must be expelled. Avi Maoz's Noam. The final far-right party, most notable for its anti-LGBTQ+ and misogynistic rhetoric, and dislike of non-Haredi Jewish faith, The party started in a movement which began by unveiling a large banner in Jerusalem that said, "A father and a mother equals a family. The courage to be normal." Maoz is the sole MK from his party and currently is in charge of the new Jewish National Identity Authority, where it is expected that he will curtail LGBTQ+ visibility in education and have control over the Nativ program, which regulates Jewish people coming to Israel from the former USSR. And that is the current makeup of the current Israeli government. Many of Netanyahu's coalition partners have threatened to collapse the government, some more than once. Although it is unlikely that will happen, as the current right-wing coalition is well behind in current polling.